Hello and welcome to another one of my videos. Now today I'm going to go back to a country I went to relatively recently, and that is back to the US, and take a look at their new menu 11, the pizza slice cheese. So this is different to the pepperoni slice. So let's get this on a table and see what this pack contains. And so, as you can see, I now have here on the table this US.M.R.E. menu 11 pizza slice cheese. Now this is one of their newer menus, introduced only a couple of years ago, not to be confused with the pizza slice pepperoni. That is a different menu altogether. So this was one of their new improved menus. As always, and as you know, they come in a nice brown bag. We should have a peelable seal on the top, so we'll get hold of that and give that a go. Sometimes they go, sometimes they don't. That went nice and easy. So, what does the menu 11 US.M.R.E. pizza slice cheese actually contain? So first off, this is by A.M.E.R.E., so we find it's double bagged. It does feel a little bit thin. Some of these are often tightly packed, but this one feels quite thin. Just bring in a friend to help open that one. So, quite a tough little bit of packaging there. So, what do we have in this menu 11? Straight off the bat, we have a beverage base lemonade. We have the pizza slice cheese. There is a little heating sleeve. We have some applesauce or zapple sauce, whichever way you want to prefer. We have a little accessory pack, and this particular one, we'll open it now. This particular one contains creamer, Bill's Brew coffee, we have some sweetener, some sugar. It's unusual to have sugar and sweetener. We have a moist towelette, a little packet of iodized salt. That's a new packet, I've not seen one of those before. They're normally in a brown bag. We have some gum and the standard TP or tissue for whichever the need first arise. So a couple of little new interesting additions there I've not seen before. I've not seen the iodized salt and a sugar and sweetener combination. You normally get one or the other. So we also have a chocolate flavour First Strike energy bar. There is some jalapeno cashews. They're the first time I've seen those as well. I've had the peanuts but not the cashews. We have some chunky peanut butter, some M.R.E. crackers, some crushed red pepper, the customary now US.M.R.E. spoon, the flameless rationator, the FRH, and a beverage bag with the measurements for making the beverages. So this is the contents of the menu 11 pizza slice US.M.R.E. So let's get these out on a tray and see what they look and taste like. And so, as you can see, I now have here laid out on the tray the contents of this US menu 11 pizza slice cheese. Looking round, it does look a very odd combination. There is an applesauce with nothing really to go up with it. We have some chunky peanut butter supposed to go on the crackers, but it does seem to be a very sparse menu. But we should start where we normally like to start, and that is with the drinks. We have the Bill's Brew coffee. I find these is very hit and miss whether they survive or not. The type 1, 2 and 3 used to last a lot better. I think out of all the US rations I've had, I've only ever had 2 successful Bill's Brew, and I've tasted all of the menus. So this one looks fresh, it's nice and fresh, so hopefully it'll be nice for me to give this one a try. And I'm going to add the whiteners. And like I said in the opening, this one usually came with a sweetener and a sugar, so I think just because I'll use the sweetener this time. I normally have the sugar, but I'll just use the sweetener. And again, we'll give that the usual 1/2 to 3/4 of a mug. Of water. Move that sugar out of the way. I might need that room for something else. Then I'm going to go on to now the lemonade powder, the beverage based lemonade. As I said before, I find these little stick ones much better. Purely sweeteners and chemicals, but they just seem to turn into a cold drink better than those big packaged ones that you find in the US rations. So I'm just going to give that a full glass, or very near a full glass of cold water. It's an extremely hot day again here in the UK for September. It's touching 30 degrees C, so that's why I've chose this one, because I thought the pizza slice might be slightly cooler than something like a beef stew. So it's very unusual for September in the UK to hit 30 degrees C. So I'm going to go around to the jalapeno cashews. Quite difficult to open there. There wasn't no hiss, but it was well sealed, and I shall just pour those into the, not many, just a few. There's pretty much just one handful there. They're not being very generous with the quantity of those. I'm going to keep going around. Take a look at the crackers, standard US M.R.E crackers, manufacturer date 3rd day of 22, so it's very fresh ration. That was a nice hiss. And as we know now, the crackers that have been around for a very long time in the US M.R.Es. I'm just going to take the corner off the peanut butter. I have kneaded the peanut butter well before filming, so I'll just take the corner off the peanut butter. We have the First Strike energy bar, it's on chocolate. Nice large bar. It looks like this meal is pretty much relying on the energy from the First Strike bar. And last but not least, we have this applesauce. So no, normally you just peel the top off and suck it out, but because I have and because I can, and for demonstration, we'll put it into a little bowl there. So just like baby food, it's an apple puree enhanced for increased performance, enhanced with maltodextrin chemicals, enhanced with chemicals for enhanced performance. So we have a crushed red pepper for some reason. Could that be to go onto the pizza slice? Is that a normal thing to do? I don't know. So let's have a look at this pizza slice. So, wow. Wow, what an insignificant, disappointing square of bread. Okay, so I'm going to come back to that in a moment. There's hardly any topping on that. I'm just going to start off with the coffee. Hopefully the coffee will inspire me. So this is a Bill's Brew, a nice fresh one for a change. It's a medium roast. Certainly that sugar was very, very intense. It's very sweet with only half a mug. It's creamy, it's comforting, it's a medium roast. Medium quality again, like most rations, in British rations as well. You tend to get a medium roast, not the best quality, not the worst. But it's an acceptable drinkable instant coffee. Taste of home, reminder of home. Let's try and look at this lemonade. Quite tart, very sharp. Lots of citric acid in there doing its thing. But it's refreshing, it's tasty, very sweet. You know there's nothing natural in there, but it is a very refreshing, tasty, cold drink there. I don't know where to start now. I suppose I should go to the very disappointing chunk of bread representing pizza. Where's the topping? Let's just start by trying some of the crust. That is warm. It is doughy. You would get away with thinking that's a sort of pizza dough, just quite firm. It's a shame there's not much in the way of topping. I'm just going to try a bit with the main cheese there. It's quite sweet, very thick, very doughy. Pizza, we have a store here that's known for very cheap hot foods called Greg's, and you can get a pizza slice from them. It's very similar to sort of a Greg's pizza in taste. People in the UK would know what that is. I think in the US I've heard referred to, you get something similar in your high schools as kids, but this particular one is just all dough, no topping. Slight taste of tomato base, slight taste of cheese. Randomly we have this crushed red pepper, and it wasn't in the accessory pack, it was thrown into the brown bag on its own, so it's like it was meant to go. I think it looks like they were struggling to know what to put in with this to bulk it up, so I've tried a few pepper flakes on the pizza. Yeah, did nothing, didn't even add a little bit of heat. Now I'm going to do something that I never normally do, because I was having pizza and I remember the pepperoni pizza wasn't that inspiring. I do have a little bit of cheese spread left over from a ration I did yesterday. It's a US cheese spread. I think you might have been better adding cheese spread instead of peanut butter. And looking at the amount on there, so I'm just going to add a bit of US cheese spread onto this pizza to see if that would have been a better option. Now I don't normally do this. You need to eat what you've got. The troops have to eat what they're given, but I just wanted to see if it would have been different, so I brought it in. As you can probably imagine, that has drastically increased its flavour, its substance. I'm going to add a few of those little chili flakes on there now, into the cheese. Obviously it would have been better if it was an jalapeno cheese spread. Let's just try some more like that. That's all they needed. Mouthful. Include some extra cheese, jalapeno cheese spread. Forget the peanut butter. Or why not both? That's a much better now tasting, but as it was originally, very, very disappointing. But now with the addition of my own cheese spread, which is the US M.R.E cheese spread, it's much, much enhanced. So, moving on round, we do have the standard crackers now. So these are the standard US M.R.E crackers, nice and fresh, nice crisp crack. A basic white wheat cracker that will go with anything. You could put cheese on it, you could put peanut butter and jam. Very basic cracker, it will go with sweet and savoury. They have given you peanut butter. This is chunky peanut butter. So, crackers with chunky peanut butter. Good quality chunky butter. Big pieces of peanut in there. Very coarse. But it's the usual. High quality peanut butter. It's good, it's tasty, it's well known. It's a very recognisable taste of home. I'm going to refresh my palate again. As I say, it's a very hot day here today. Moving on round, we'll try some of these jalapeno cashews. As you can see, just very simplistic cashews with a little jalapeno spice. They've got some flavour. Not very many in the pack, but they do. They do have the jalapeno, little bit of sting, zing. I don't know. I'm just trying to couple on the pizza. Anything to try and liven that pizza up. Very doughy. Once you take a bite, it takes a lot of eating. But they do go on the cheese. Just need to wipe my hands. Moving on round to the cheese spread, not cheese spread, sorry, the applesauce. I think I've just dropped in a piece of pepper flake, not in the applesauce. So, have another little taste of the applesauce. It is, as we've had before, it's just like a pureed apple, with some extra sweetness thrown in. It's sweet, it's tasty. Here's a little bit of fruit. Just out of curiosity, I'm just going to try, see if we can make a sort of cobbler with some of those crackers. Surprisingly, that goes very well. Because there is no salt, because they're not salted, they're just simply wheat cracker. It does actually bulk out that applesauce and make like a cobbler, crispy, crunchy. Actually goes very well with the cobbler, with the applesauce. No good way of using up the crackers. I need to keep wiping my brows. It's got good sweat going on here today. I think it's more than 30 degrees out there. Have a refresh of the palate before we have a look at the first strike. Chocolate bar. Quite soft, easy to break this one. Cause chocolate flavour. Crispies. Chewy. flavoursome. I think out of the first strikes, the chocolate one was my favourite. Crispy crunches, wheat crispies, sweet, tasty, enjoyable, energy boost. Most of the items in this meal require to do quite a lot of chewing. So, overall, I'm quite disappointed, say as I find. I did suspect, going on the pizza pepperoni one, that was very similar. There seemed to be a piece of poor quality pizza. I was hoping they'd improved, got things better. It doesn't appear so. As you saw, nearly all just thick crust, very little topping. The addition of my own cheese spread, which could have easily been put in instead of the chunky peanut butter, because that would have also gone with the crackers, cheese spread and crackers, would have enhanced it far more. As a selection of items, it does seem like it's just thrown together. You got random crushed red pepper thrown in the packet, different salt sachets to normal. What I would have put salt on, I don't know. So overall, not my favourite US M.R.E, but you would get by on it. It would fill you. It would give you something stodgy in your stomach to keep you going until you get issued the next meal. So I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe and hit that notification button for future videos coming very soon. So thank you and goodbye.